So yes, we are live on the Twitter handle of Woman Agenda. We are live on the YouTube channel Woman Agenda, and obviously you will be able to see clips on the Facebook page after the chat we are having. Our special guest and a very special, talented pianist is Liz Davinci. How are you today, Liz?
Very well, thank you. Thank you so much, Raj, for having me here on your cool podcast.
Thank you very much.
I'm honored to be here.
Yeah, it's great to have you. Great to have you on board on there, and we've been chatting about this to bring you on, and it's nice to have you on. And you know, you've already had a very very interesting career. We've seen your website, which I'm going to just pop up in a second on here.
Cool.
Which I've got it on here as well, which we have here. We have it, lizdavinci.com. And so on the website, it tells you about your biographies on there. It obviously details the photos, the videos on there. So tell us a little bit about how did you become a pianist? How did that start?
Yeah, I mean, as a kid, I loved music. Like, I think everybody loves music, but mostly we heard American folk songs and sang with my dad, played guitar and stuff, and listened to the Doors and records like that. But then, yeah, when I was 8, I started taking piano lessons, and that was all classical. But I always really loved pop music, and I loved to sing in my car and stuff like that. So I always wanted to somehow be able to do some kind of pop music with the piano, but it took me kind of a long time to figure out how to get there. I ended up studying music in college and went to music school and studied composition and piano. And then I just didn't do any music for, I don't know, 10 years or something, which was also really nice. And it was after that that I sort of had the epiphany of how I wanted to integrate piano with pop music.
Yeah, yeah, that is very interesting. And am I right in saying you are obviously you're from is it California?
Yeah, I grew up in California. So, and I went to the university there in the South in San Diego. And then when I was finished with that, I wanted to go to Holland to study with a composer over there. And so I went there, which was planned to just be for 1 year, but I was able to teach piano, so I had some money, so I stayed a few more years, and yeah, then I kind of bounced around the world.
All right, yeah, that is very interesting. But I was going to ask how did you end up in Germany?
I'm not really sure. But we ended up here, yeah. So my husband is Dutch, and so
Okay, all right.
I
That
met him when I
explains
was
it.
studying.
That is explain it.
Yeah. So he's Dutch, and he also studied music, so that's how we met. And then we, I couldn't get a visa in Holland. We went to Florida, and then we wanted to move back to Europe, so we moved to Germany.
All right, okay.
Yeah.
Wow. So we've seen on your website, which I'll just put it back on here as well,
Thank you.
lizdavinci.com. On there, it tells us about your third album. So when did your first album get released? And because you have you've been you won awards regarding you being a pianist, and the kind of the music you've done, and you're working on your fifth album. So when did the first album come out with, and how did you get this the backing, the support to get this started?
Yeah, the first album was definitely that took me the longest to write because I was also just coming back to music after being away from music for a while, and but then once I started writing songs, it was like they started coming like very quickly, and but I still spent a long, long time because that's before like I wasn't on social media or nothing. I just was living my life and I was writing those songs. Took me about a year and 3 months or something, and then and that was almost all of them were by myself, solo with piano, and a couple of them my husband then he wanted to at first he was looking at me like what are you doing you're actually going to make an album and then after I was really serious about it for so long then he sort of said oh well maybe I can do a couple songs with you too so we did a couple songs but yeah basically I just over the course of a year a little more than a year I wrote the songs and I practiced them and I kicked some off because I was new. Like now I've been doing this songwriting for 7 years or whatever, and it's comes a lot easier. But then I wanted to make sure that my first album was good. You know, I wanted to really kick off the things that I had doubts about. So that was in
Yeah.
2017. That was in 2017.
Okay, so 2017 was the first album, and which company helped you release it?
No
Which?
one.
All right. Okay.
I do everything by myself.
Wow.
Basically, I mean, except when my husband plays, yeah. So yeah, so I figured that out how to you get a record distributor and then you can put this all the music and you can do it all yourself. It requires some organization and
A lot of work.
discipline,
A lot of
but
work.
yeah, but it's kind of fun to have to do everything. I mean, I do everything. I do videos, I do the organization, I do it because it kind of takes your ego out of it too because you just feel like okay, I have to work for a little bit on this aspect or that aspect and I think it's healthy actually.
Yeah. Yeah, because all of this you also the whole creation is yourself which has done it.
Yeah.
So it's definitely something to be proud of because you've created it yourself. Um, and you created it yourself. Now your albums, uh, you're working obviously on the fifth album now. um, and obviously, uh, is it because most of the albums these days they're available just online now, are they? Because I don't think the physical sells very well. Is
Exactly. I was determined to make I made everything available except okay, everything since a certain point available on CD and I made them
Yeah.
all myself and I sent them out and I don't know why but just the other day I just deleted my whole store and took it away. But I know they don't sell like hotcakes, but there's always a few really cool nice people who also love physical media who always buy my stuff. So, I mean, when my next album comes out, I will tell them if they want to have one, then they can just contact me and I will just make a small batch. So, but I just thought it was a little bit over the top to have a store and I don't know. Just and I just made all my music free on Bandcamp also. If people want to give me money, they can always buy it somewhere else, you know, but I don't really want to put my art behind bars. So, that's what I decided.
Yeah. No, absolutely, absolutely, definitely. I mean, if somebody does want to, then obviously they can get in touch with you. We'll put your social links which we have on here as well. We'll put them up as well before the end of the chat.
Thank you.
We will definitely mention, we'll get them mentioned and we put them on the links as well on the video description and the audio description as well. So just to quickly mention, which I forgot to mention at the beginning, that we are available and this will be our chat with Liz will be available on Apple Podcasts and Buzzsprout, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Amazon Music, and Geo and everywhere else where podcasts can be found, the audio version, and we'll put the links on there as well. So if you want to get in touch with
Great.
Liz, you can get
Thank
in
you
touch
so
with
much.
Liz.
Yeah.
No worries. That's absolutely fine. So you always wanted to be a pianist? Is that always
I think
that?
I always wanted to be a singer actually, but then I studied
Yeah,
piano and then I only sang privately for many years because I didn't feel like I was really gifted to sing. and that wasn't what I did. I did piano, and doing piano was about being a soloist basically. And then when I got to college, I worked with a lot of I worked with singers actually. So I was just the background person, you know, I was the pianist, but I didn't mind that either. So, but then at one point, I still always sang by myself in secret. And then at one point I thought, forget it. What am I afraid of? You only live once, right? So
Exactly. That's
then I
true.
started singing. Yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely, definitely. That is absolutely spot on. Yeah, absolutely. You only live once, so you might as well go for something which you want to do. And obviously, you wanted to get into that. Um, on there. So how long did it take you to learn this craft, uh, learning the piano, and how long was it?
Well, in all honesty, I'd say the first 6 years of piano lessons were not fun. So it took me until I was about 14 years old that I finally could play something that I found beautiful and that I found fun to learn and that sounded to me what how I thought piano music should sound. So I mean that's kind of a big chunk of time, but you know, you're a kid and your parents give you a guilt trip and so you do it and you go on. I was just happy when I was 14 when things started coming together. So
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's worth it. I mean, because obviously now you're doing something, and it's your own creation. Everything, you're
yeah.
producing yourself. You're obviously doing the music yourself, and then you're releasing it. What about do you have like every time you release a single, do you release a video version? Is it like a video?
Depends. I've released a lot of videos because
Oh,
yeah, at the beginning I thought, oh my god, what I released the album and then I went on social media and it's like, how do you market music? I mean, this was all new to me and I read books and I did things, but of course video is just a great way to market music. So I started playing with video and it was so fun. I really enjoyed expressing myself through video. So I've done a lot of stuff with video, but I don't have rules for myself. Like I don't say, okay, every time I basically make a video when I feel like it and I try to make at least 3 per album or something like that.
all right,
So,
okay.
yeah.
Yeah, and you do have a like obviously you have your own YouTube channel, and
Yeah.
how is the response after you release the videos, and are you
Um
getting people?
Yeah, let's say okay, so in the beginning I read a lot of books about how you should market yourself and I in the end my philosophy is just organic marketing. I really like I don't mind if things take time. I don't mind if I have a lot of likes or a few likes. What I want are real likes. I want people who really come there and like my stuff and watch the video and don't just say, you know, click the thumbs up or whatever. So that's always kind of been my attitude and I do feel that so even after having been there 7 years there's a small group of people that really loves my music but they really do and that is more than enough for me. That is amazing to me that just a complete stranger could yeah, that my music could move them or that they understand what I'm trying to do. That's enough for me. So, of course, I always like to try to reach out to as many people as possible, but I've never paid for promotion or I don't pay for promotion. I just do everything myself and that means I'm small and that means I will probably stay small, but that has a lot of advantages too because I can also still do everything myself like we talked about. It's not too overwhelming and yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, sometimes I guess it's even if things take time, but everything gets into place.
Yeah.
Everything clicks into place, and that's I guess would be the main thing, to get where you want to get. And if obviously uh, everything is slowly working out, and
Yeah.
that's absolutely fine. So everyone can purchase your singles on is it in all? online stores, Spotify, and all of them?
Yeah, I basically have it uploaded everywhere. Apple and iTunes or whatever's, yeah.
Yeah.
So exactly.
And is it like do you get like one is working better than the other, or is it just like the- are they all working,
I
or
I
is it hard to
wouldn't.
determine?
Yeah, I'd say the places where people listen the most are Spotify and I would say YouTube. Once it's rolling, it does go well because people like to have image together with music and it helps people. Well, I don't know, it's just pleasant, right? I love watching music videos.
Yeah,
So YouTube's a good I'd say I like YouTube. Twitter is surprisingly good also to make connections. It's fantastic. So
yeah. I mean, Twitter is good. I mean, it's taken me time to to fully expand on Twitter, the Twitter handle, but now slowly it's getting where where we want it to go
how long
on
have you
Twitter.
been on Twitter? How long have you been there?
On Twitter,
Yeah.
I think that I've been on it for a while, but
Yeah.
the woman agenda Twitter handler has not been on for that long.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I think I've been on it for about because Women Agenda launched about 1.5 year ago.
Mhm. Mhm.
But since then, it's been growing on Twitter. But yeah, it's slowly getting there now. It's slowly getting there.
Yeah, yeah.
And
It takes time, and with ever since the pandemic too, I noticed like huge drops in numbers of my views. I mean, people are just busy with other stuff.
yeah,
It was
that's
different
good.
before that. That's okay, but it's noticeable.
Yeah, and you have obviously we can see you've put some clips, or is it like a clips of your music you put on the website, or is it like the full version of it, or how does it work?
On the website, I think mostly I just embed the link so you can listen directly in Spotify on my website or Bandcamp, and then the YouTube is the same. I just embed all the videos. Yeah. So that
So on
works.
YouTube, you have like do we see you playing on YouTube the piano and
Yeah,
everything?
yeah. Actually, I did a live show that people seem to like in October. That one, I have done live streams. They're also on YouTube still, but because I do everything myself, I found it a little bit annoying to have to check all the technical things and then be going live. So I decided from now on, when I do live shows, I will just record them ahead of time. It's still legit. It's still live. I'm still playing and singing right there, but then the quality's higher because I can use my better camera, and I don't have the stress of the live stream technical setup. So anyway, I did that. I guess not for the first time, but I did that in October. So that's a live show that has good sound quality and stuff.
All right, okay. So yeah, and that is really good actually. Doing live, I guess that's a different balls altogether for musicians.
Live
Doing
is the
live,
best. Yeah.
and then you're getting live feedback as well from people,
Yeah.
from fans,
Yeah.
people who are listening to you for the first time and stuff. So where does your inspiration come from when you're creating your albums? Where does the
I
inspiration come from?
guess the universe. I have no idea because it's like I don't stop. I don't know. I don't ever stop thinking about songs or writing, or I write poems or song. I write constantly, basically. So I don't really feel like I do it, but it happens.
All right, okay. Yeah, that's really good. That you keep on doing it, writing, and then releasing new material, and so what are you working on at the moment, and when is it due to? Is any date when it will be released?
Yeah, well, I was gonna do again an album with my husband, but he's been busy with other projects like that he likes to do. So I decided in the meantime, while I'm waiting for him, to do a solo album. So
Okay.
that's the first time I've really done a solo album ever, actually. But it's the most similar to my first album, and I play everything in basically live. And so in a way it will be simple, more stripped down in some ways, but of course that allows depth in other areas. It's There are always many parameters that one can play with in anything, right? In music or video or acting or whatever. So when it's musically more stripped down, then I can play with vocal expression differently, or text, or you name it.
Yeah, definitely. And so usually when you start writing, obviously to release stuff, and does that take any pretty? Is it like any like it take about so many months, or is it just depending on how long it takes for it
Yeah,
to?
it just depends. I don't know. What I noticed with this album was like I had a really big burst of songwriting, and then I'll write like 4 songs in a week. And then because they're
Yeah.
solo, I can just work on them right away and work through them, and they're more keepers. When I work together with my husband, for example, then we pass the ideas back and forth, and I don't know. It's a little bit of a different. It's a slower process. But yeah, I think this new album will be there end of March or early April. So still mixing it, but it's basically all recorded.
Yeah.
So so
And
that's
can people purchase it directly from your website?
can they do purchase? Well, I just no, they can't. I just wrecked that possibility because I removed the whole store. But then, ironically, now you're asking me about it, and I also had someone write me wanting to buy a CD. So maybe I should put the store up again. I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah, I mean, obviously it's your decision, but I mean, it's not a bad idea actually, is it really? I mean,
Yeah.
you have your have the store, or have a link on the website, because the website is really informative. It's it
Good.
tell there's lots of stuff on there, from your biography, photos, videos, discovery, lyrics. Then you've got your own blog and news and contact. I mean, you've basically covered everything anyway, in full in good detail,
Yeah.
which a musician should do, an artist or a book author, or anyone in any profession should do. You've already done that, and so people can
Yeah.
people can easily understand everything, I guess. And even if it's not, if it's available, I think it makes it a bit easier for them to purchase it. But they can still obviously find you on Spotify by typing in your name, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly right. But it's a good point. I'm gonna think about it. Maybe I'll just put it back for the last couple of CDs or something. Yeah. Why not?
Yeah, absolutely. And so, where do you record these albums? Are they recording at your place, or do you have like a specific studio where you do it?
Basically, when I started, I had more. I had simpler equipment, and I at one point upgraded a little bit. But I'm not a fanatic like that either. But the best piece of equipment I have is called an Apollo Twin, and that's my audio interface. And I think ever since I had that, then my music sounded a lot more professional. It wasn't cheap, but it wasn't super expensive either. But that was the best investment. For the rest, actually, my keyboard that I use up here is not expensive. We have a really nice piano downstairs, but I never use that anymore. And the mic is, good quality, but not like thousands of euros or anything. I'm happy with the sound. So,
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
it can
absolutely.
always be better, it can always be worse, but at one point, if you're satisfied, that's okay for me.
And I can see obviously you are available on the social media links, which we will put up as well, so people can view yourself on Instagram and obviously on your Twitter. Twitter is this is
Yeah,
your Twitter
thanks so
handle
much.
there.
Yeah,
Twitter, and then you just type in Liz underscore Davinci. It'll come up straight
yeah,
away. And then
exactly.
obviously Instagram is this is Instagram,
Yeah,
and then Elizabeth Da Vinci. It comes up straight
exactly.
away
Thank you.
on there, and this is obviously the official website. So yeah, I mean, you are available on the main platform. People can get in touch with you on there. And so, how, was it easy to? I mean, Instagram is something which I'm working on, and obviously, it's about giving you enough time to build. So
Yeah.
how is the response on Instagram in particular?
For me, it depends on what algorithms they're using because it's kind of funny. Like when I first went on, I got so many more likes than I do now. But I also, it kind of depends if you play their game, if you put hashtags, then you might get more likes. But those are also oftentimes useless likes. Like they're not people who will come back for you or they're promoters. A lot of times people will, if I put certain music tags, and I'll get likes from promoters, which is also useless. So a lot of times I just, again, go with the organic approach because honestly, I don't want to bother anybody. I want people to follow me because they like me and they like my music and they like what I post, and not to give me a like because they want to like or whatever things are spinning in people's heads. So
Yeah,
yeah, Instagram, I don't know. Again, it's kind of like my YouTube. I'm happy with it because the people who give me likes are really the cool people that I like and that are there for the right reasons. That's all that matters to me.
absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Definitely well said. So absolutely, I'm sure a lot of people are looking forward to your fifth album, which is coming out not too long now, in the summer when the weather is really good. Um,
Can't wait.
and absolutely, absolutely. Why not? And obviously, and music, like they say, music gives a lot of removes a lot of stress and a lot
That's
of.
my approach. Yep. Music is
So
relaxing.
it is very good, relaxing. And if anybody, obviously, if you guys want to get in touch, obviously, you can see that we are available. Obviously, we are on Twitter as we're live on Twitter. And obviously, if you want to get in touch with us on Facebook, then this is the Facebook page,
Yeah.
facebook.com/Woman Talent Podcast is the page. And just to quickly, guys, if you want to get in touch and if you want to be featured, if you're a woman talent artist and you want to be featured on the podcast, get in touch with the talent spotlight 309 at gmail.com, and we will get in touch with you guys and arrange something very soon. So Liz, it has been an absolute pleasure to have you on here
Thank you so much
on
for
a
having me.
Sunday, on a Sunday, and it's been great to have you on and to learn about your music. And you're the first pianist I've had on here actually.
Oh, cool.
Um,
Great.
I've had like opera singers, and I've had
I know, I know.
oh, have you checked? Oh, right, okay.
I listened to that. That's the podcast I listened to,
You
Christine.
listen to that, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
that was good.
I've had one opera singer here.
Yeah.
We've had an opera singer, and looking to get another artist who's an opera singer and on there. So we will give you news, guys, in the next tomorrow about what we're doing on Wednesday, who we have. So we'll give you news on that. And anything else, Liz, you wouldn't like to say to
I would like to
any
say thank you
listeners?
to you. Thank you very much. It's been fun. It's been interesting, and I appreciate you taking the time. Really.
Okay, and just quickly mention this is the Liz's website, lizdavinci.com, her official website where you can see all the news, all the latest news of Liz and her upcoming album, and the album which she's released. All information is all on there, lizdavinci.com. And like I said, she's available on her Instagram, which is Instagram on there. And she's available on Twitter as well on the following Liz underscore Davinci. And we will put the links on the video version and the audio podcast version available on all podcasts where they can be found, and also on the recast as well. So thank you, Liz. Thank you very much on there. And obviously, and the video is on there, but I will obviously send you the link as well.
Yeah, that's great.
Thank you very much there. I hope you have a rest of a fantastic Sunday there.
Same to you, Raj. Thank you.